Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Danny with Danny's Luxury Cruise Vacations. And today I have the pleasure of having with me Kristen from Tauck Tours. They are a top shelf luxury cruise product as well as a tour operator. And Kristen is kind enough to share a few minutes of her valuable time uh, answering a few questions and telling us all about her wonderful product. Welcome, Kristen. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
My pleasure. Thank you. So, Kristen, to start off, Tauck, are they considered more of a tour operator or river cruise company? If you could just share a little bit on that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, all of the above. The great thing about Tauck is that we operate all types of tours. So we do land tours, we do river cruise, we do small ship cruising, family tours, safari, you name it. We have over 200 itineraries. We go to all 7 continents. So really anywhere or any way you and your guests would like to travel, we probably have a tour that will be a good fit for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. And is it fair to say, and please correct me if I'm not right, is your product considered 4 or 5 stars? Where do you fit in the spectrum?
Yeah, it's a 5-star product. We definitely say Tauck is a luxury product. Our river boats, we always say they're kind of like a floating Four Seasons. We're the #1 client in the world of Four Seasons, of the Ritz-Carlton, of Fairmont. So we stay in the best of the best in terms of hotels. The only place I ever say there's a little asterisk with that would be within our national parks. Within our national parks, we always say inside the parks, wherever there is an inside the park hotel available. So while the Owani Hotel on the Yosemite Valley is not a Four Seasons, we think that there's nothing more luxurious than waking up on the floor of the valley and not having to commute in and out each day and deal with the traffic and the commute. So within the parks, we'll stay in on-park hotels wherever we can. Outside of that, you're staying in the best of the best wherever we're visiting.
And it's funny because a few years ago I was in Paris for my daughter's high school graduation present, and one of the suppliers that was there was Tauck. And where did we stay? We stayed at the Intercontinental right by the Opera House in Paris. So that says
Fabulous
something.
property.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. What a graduation present. My goodness.
Well, my parents grew up in Paris, and she wanted to see where my parents grew up. So here
Very
we
cool.
go. Yep, yep. So just a testament to what you said. Um, what type of tours does Tauck offer?
A little bit of everything. I'd say probably our most popular, certainly our river cruise line is amongst the most popular products lines that we have. We cruise everywhere from Porto to the Black Sea and pretty much everywhere in between. We have 38 different itineraries on the river and 8 different boats. So lots of great options there. Our national park trips, we've been around now. Next year's our 100th anniversary,
Oh,
believe it or
wow.
not. So we've been operating in those parks for an entire century now. So we have fabulous partnerships and relationships that get us some great access to some of the most beautiful sites in the park. And then, of course, our safari product as well. A little known fact about Tauck, we actually take more folks to Africa every year than any other operator in the US. So when you're looking at safari, take a peek at our tours. We have 16 different safari itineraries going everywhere from Rwanda to South Africa and pretty much everywhere in between. That plus our fabulous family tours, our bridges programs. These are tours that are built from the ground up for the entire family to enjoy together. And we have 30 different itineraries ranging everywhere from the Galapagos to Japan, cowboy country here in the States, fabulous river cruises, safari. So you name it. We've got a little bit of everything for everyone.
Beautiful. I know you mentioned, the tours and your river cruises, and you had mentioned a little earlier about small ships. Can you touch maybe a little bit on your small ship partners?
Yes, we have fabulous partners for small ship. We work with the folks over at Penant,
Okay.
Silver Sea, Windstar, and then we use a company called Metropolitan for 2 of our itineraries down in the Galapagos. These are all top of the line small ship products. The largest boat we work with holds just under 300 people. So when we say small ship, we mean properly small ship. These are very intimate experiences for everyone. And everything's included, all the excursions, and this is for all of our products. Every excursion on every trip is included in the upfront price. There's never an option to upgrade your excursions. Even things like hot air balloon rides over the Masai Mara or a helicopter tour in Kauai, they're all included in the upfront price. transfers to and from the airport. On our water products, all of your meals, all of your beverages, your tips, etc. So it's a really fabulous experience. For small ship, we have 40 itineraries, and we go everywhere from Antarctica to Iceland, the Great Lakes, Japan, the Galapagos, all throughout the Mediterranean and the Aegean. So lots of fabulous tours to choose from.
You're making me drool, and I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm drooling. I started traveling when I was 3 years old and haven't stopped. And it's the more you get into traveling, the more you want to travel. It's
That's
just
exactly
opens up
right.
your eyes, and it makes you appreciate the world.
That's for sure.
Yep, yep. Um, what would you say is your perfect demographic, if I may put it that way?
Yeah, so given the wide breadth of different tours we offer, there's definitely a wide kind of range of guests who are a great fit for Tauck. I'd say kind of our classic guest is someone who recently has retired and is looking to see the world. They tend to be folks who are lifelong learners. They really value the resources that they have, and they've worked really hard to have a nice retirement. And now they want to make sure that they can see the world in style, but do so while doing so with really good value for what they're spending. Something that we take really seriously is not just providing a fabulous tour, but doing so at a great value for our guests. For our family tours, of course, we have everyone from parents taking their kids to grandparents taking a whole generation of guests out on tour with them. And then I'd say for our more active tours, so things like safaris, Antarctica, things like that. Those do tend a bit younger. Though I'll say I was out on a safari a couple of years back, and there was a gentleman on one of my tours who was 94 years old, who was absolutely outrunning all of us youngsters. So a really wide range available for guests of all ages.
Now, I know you said a moment ago, pretty much everything is included. You're on your river cruise, you want for nothing, meals, drinks, all of that's included. Am I correct to say the only thing that might be extra if they wanted it on your river cruise, for example, or small ship, if they wanted, let's say, a spa package?
We do have spa on board. That being said, it is very affordable. To give you an idea, the last river cruise I was out on, and it does vary from ship to ship because we do have independent contractors who do our massages and things like that on board. A 50-minute massage was $75. So they are very reasonable on board. So if you are interested in that, anyone who books on our river boats, for example, a category 7 cabin, which is our top level suite on board, and we've got, depending on the ship, about 30 of them. So lots of opportunity to book those. We'll get a $100 credit on board the boat, which would well cover not just a massage, but probably a little something from the gift shop as well.
Nice, nice. And my last question for you this afternoon, mentioned that we keep it nice and simple for you. Um, we know when you do a land tour, you're traveling around, so it's going to be very casual. Because you're on tour, comfortable shoes, comfortable outfit, whatever. We know that when you go on cruises, it could be a little different on board the boat or the ship, whatever, when you're traveling. Are your cruises, whether it's riverboat or a small ship, generally casual business country club type, attire?
Yeah, we always say resort casual is the way to travel for us. Even for our small ships, our land tours, river boats, etc. We want our guests to be comfortable. There's a lot of walking and there can be some long days of touring out there. So we want to make sure everybody has comfortable clothes and comfortable shoes and all of that. For dinners, maybe kick it up a little bit. I'd say khakis and a golf shirt are more than appropriate for gentlemen, and the equivalent for women. And then for our sparkling evenings, we normally have 1 or 2 sparkling evenings on each trip. This will be something like a dinner in a private palace or a Michelin-starred restaurant. And then our welcome and farewell dinners. Those tend to be the meals where you'll kind of dress to the best that you brought. For that, slacks and a button-down shirt for gentlemen. If they'd like to bring a sport coat, they're welcome to. It's not required though. And then for ladies, the equivalent, slacks and a nice blouse or a dress or something along those lines.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Kristen, that wraps up my questions. I just want to ask you if there's anything else that you would like to share with us, to my clients and consumers that are going to see this. Anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I think that there's so many wonderful things about traveling with Tauck, which is always hard to fit into any type of first meeting. Given that the company's been around as long as it has, and we have so many different types of tours. But you have a great asset here in Danny. So any questions that you have, please do reach out to him. He has access to me at all times, and I'm happy to answer any questions that come up, whether it be walking through an itinerary or just chatting about different destinations that you might be interested in.
I thank you for the kind words and thank you for doing this, Kristen. Thank you
My
very much.
pleasure.